Hello all, welcome to the channel Base or BTech. So today we will discuss one moment of inertia problem taken from KTU question paper July 2017. Okay. So this is the problem, 13th one. The cross section of a plain concrete culvert is shown in figure 5. Determine the moment of inertia above the centroidal axis, and here comes the diagram. Yeah, this one, figure number 5. So this is a concrete culvert, and so let's start solving it. So here comes the figure. Actually, this is a cutout from a rectangle. That means if I take a rectangle and cut a right triangle from the left side of it and another one from the right side of it, also one semicircle from the bottom of the rectangle, we get the same shape, isn't it? So this concrete culvert is basically the combination of two right triangles and a semicircle that is removed from a big rectangle. So here we have a figure equation, that is rectangle minus a right triangle minus another one that is taken from the right side of the rectangle, also minus one semicircle from the bottom will give you the required shape. And our question is to find the moment of inertia of this particular shape about the centroidal axis. Now, what is centroidal axis? Actually, we have got two centroidal axes. One which is horizontal, we call it as centroidal xx axis, and another which is vertical, that is centroidal yy axis. And both the axes, as the name itself says, both passes through the centroid of the shape. So our first step on moment of inertia problem is to find the centroid. See, this question specified that the moment of inertia should be calculated about centroidal axis. Then only you need to calculate for centroid. Otherwise, they will specify we have to find the moment of inertia about the base or about the right side, etc. But in this problem, it is specified that find the moment of inertia about the centroidal axis, which is why we are finding, or we are taking the first step as finding the centroid. Okay. So here let us see how the centroid is calculated for this complete figure. I mean the blue shape. We focus only the blue shape, isn't it? So the first step is you need to place the shape in first quadrant. And second step is, I have done this already because here is your negative x axis and y axis. Anyway, so I have placed in the first quadrant, and second step is to check for symmetry. Check for symmetry. That is, we have actually vertical symmetry and horizontal symmetry, isn't it? Vertical symmetry means once when folded, the left and right side gets overlapped. Horizontal symmetry means when once folded horizontally, the up and down sides overlap each other. So for this shape, you can clearly see that once we fold this figure vertically, the left and right side overlap each other, isn't it? So we can say that there is a vertical symmetry, and let us mark it as why, because see, when vertical symmetry is there, then we can say that it on that axis x bar lies. When it is a horizontal symmetry, then y bar lies on it. So x bar is the x coordinate of our centroid, and that is going to be 1000. Why? Because the total length of the rectangle is 500 plus 1000 plus 500, which is 2000. 2000 divided by 2 is 1000. So it does exist on the y axis. So the x coordinate of our centroid is x bar, which is 1000. Now let's find out the y coordinate of the centroid. Okay. For that, we have to split up all these shapes, and let us name all this shape 1, shape 2, 3 and 4. Okay. Now we have to find the y coordinate individually for the shapes. Okay. So for shape 1, it is a rectangle, isn't it? and you can check out the formula list about the centroid I have uploaded earlier. For a rectangle, the centroid lies just on the middle of the dimension. Like for this shape 1, y bar, let me take it as y1 bar. y1 bar is equal to 1500 by 2, because 1500 is the vertical dimension, isn't it? So 1500 by 2, there we will have the rectangle's y coordinate centroid, that is 1500 by 2, which is 750. And actually there is no need to calculate the x coordinate for this shape. Why? Because we have already found out the net centroid x coordinate, which is to be 1000. But still, let us do it because it might be needed in moment of inertia calculation. So x1 bar is the x dimension, that is 1000 divided by, not 1000, that is 2000 divided by 2, isn't it? Whole length of the rectangle is 2000, divided by 2 is 1000. So these are the x and y coordinates of the centroid for the shape 1, which is the rectangle. Next, let us move on to shape 2, which is the right triangle. To find the centroid of this right triangle, first we need to locate the right angle marking. Okay, from there, from the right angle, you can see the centroid for a right angle is base divided by 3, isn't it? So whatever, if we are focusing on the x coordinate, then x dimension divided by 3 taken from the right angle side. So it is, see, the complete length over here is 500, isn't it? Actually this triangle is taken from this shape, and here is the another right triangle. So actually the side is 500, so we have to take 500 by 3, 500 by 3. So here comes your, okay, our x2 bar. x2 bar is equal to 500 divided by 3. And what about y2 bar? y2 bar is, again, start from the right angle, take a dimension divided by 3. That here the dimension is 1500. So 1500 divided by 3, which is 500, and 500 by 3, that is about 166.67. Anyway, I repeat that there is no need to calculate the x2, the x coordinate. Why? Because x bar is already found out. And next is to find the centroid of shape 3. Here again, mark for the right angle, take the dimension by 3, that is again 500 divided by 3, and here comes your x bar, I mean x3 bar, isn't it? x3 bar is equal to 500 by 3, and the y coordinate is this length divided by 3, that is 1500 divided by 3. Here is your y coordinate. So it is y3 bar is equal to 1500 divided by 3. Again it is 500. I think the same value of shape 2. Later for shape 4, here we can recognize one vertical symmetry, isn't it? When we fold this vertically, the sides get overlapped. So definitely x bar will be over, see, this is your vertical symmetry axis, and x bar, I mean x4 bar, isn't it? x4 bar is equal to the middle of this diameter, which means the radius was 650. The radius was 650. So x4 bar is 650. And next, y bar is actually 4r by 3 pi. The formula is 4r by 3 pi. Here is your y coordinate of the centroid for shape 4. Now y4 bar is 4 into 650 is your radius divided by 3 pi. That is about 276. Okay. So by now we have calculated all the coordinates, I mean x coordinate and y coordinate for all the 4 shapes. Now let's group them up to get the previous shape. Okay. See, all this horizontal axis are the y coordinates of corresponding figures, which means this horizontal axis indicate the location of y coordinate of the shape 2, isn't it? And here comes the shape 3, and this horizontal axis indicates the location of y coordinate for shape 3. And here comes a semicircle, and this horizontal axis says that somewhere here y4 bar is located, isn't it? 276. So we have to collect or we have to combine all these y coordinates and get one single y coordinate for the whole shape. Okay, so our task is to locate this axis. See, we have to locate this axis on the first quadrant. I mean, we know that this length is 1500 by 3. See, it is about 500 taken from the top. So this is 500 means what will be its coordinate on the xy system. Complete length is 1500, isn't it? So 1500 minus top 500 will give you 1000. So this is your y2 bar. Okay, actually 500 is the length taken from the top, but when mentioning on the first quadrant, we have to write y2 bar or the coordinate as 1000. Okay, and next for this shape also, this line is actually when extended becomes the same. So here y3 bar is also simply 1000 itself. Okay, instead of 500 we have to now write 1000. Okay, and finally this length, what is this length? Y4 bar is 276, but of course that was measured from the base. So here is your 276. So obviously this value will also be 276 because here is our origin, isn't it? So 276 becomes y4 bar. Now what about y1 bar? y1 bar is also 750, which was measured from the base of the rectangle. So from the origin we have to take clearly at the middle, we will have 750, which is your y4 bar. Okay, and now it's time to collect all these y coordinates of individual figures and combine them up, put it in the equation and get your y coordinate of the complete figure. Okay, so the equation is y bar is equal to y1 bar a1. Actually a1 is the area. Okay, and the first shape was a rectangle and remaining shapes must be reduced. So y1 bar a1 minus y2 bar a2 minus y3 bar a3 minus y4 bar a4 divided by a1 minus a2 minus a3 minus a4. Here you can see for the second and third and fourth shape we are having a negative sign. Why? Because all these brown shades should be removed off. Okay, and only the first shape is having a positive sign. Why? Because that is a shape from which everything must be removed. Okay, now what are these a1, a2, a3? They are the areas of corresponding figures. Like a1 is equal to a1, shape 1 is a rectangle and length into breadth is 2000 is your length into breadth is 1500. So it is like 3 into 10 raised to 6 millimeter square. And next value is shape 2. Shape 2 area is A2 equal to half BH, which is half into, what is the base? Base of the triangle is 500 and height is 1500. So its value is 375,000 millimeter square. And obviously A3 is also same, 375,000. Later shape 4 is a semicircle A4, which is pi r square divided by 2 and the area is 663325. This looks like a phone number. Okay, now collect everything over here and remember you must put y1 bar, y2 bar, y3 bar, y4 bar taken from the coordinate system and not from the individual calculations. Okay, so altogether you will get your y bar as 830 millimeter. So about this position, see, this is your 830 millimeter, the location of y bar, and this intersection will give you the exact centroid, which is 1000. The x coordinate of this point is 1000, comma, what is that? 830. Okay, so this is the x bar and y bar for your concrete culvert. So 40% of the question is almost done. Now next are the steps to find out the moment of inertia of this blue color portion. Okay, as I said, we are going to find the moment of inertia about the centroidal x-x axis and centroidal y-y axis. Here comes the centroidal x-x axis and here goes centroidal y-y axis. Also we are known with the point, isn't it? This point here, this much distance is 1000 and here x-axis lies on 830 millimeter, isn't it? So first let's check out the moment of inertia about x-axis axis. Okay. So before that, let me mark all points here. That means here is the point 1000, and for the semicircle the point was about 276, isn't it? So let's find out the moment of inertia about x-axis axis, and the main formula is Ixx equal to Igx plus a1 y square. That means for rectangle we will have Ixx1, for right triangle 1 it is Ixx2, for a right triangle 2 it is Ixx3, last figure it is Ixx4, and the net moment of inertia about x-axis axis is Ixx1, which is the moment of inertia of the rectangle about x-axis axis, minus Ixx2 minus Ixx3 minus Ixx4, because we get the blue color portion only when we reduce or remove all the other shapes, I mean two rectangles, two right triangles and semicircle out of the rectangle, isn't it? So this is the expression. Now actually this formula is taken from parallel axis theorem, which we have discussed in the last class. So how to find this Igx and a1 y square? Remember, this is the shape rectangle. So Igx, see, I have pasted the figure and formula of these three shapes. That means rectangle, triangle and semicircle centroid formula is needed for this question, isn't it? So let's take Igx. Igx means the centroidal, the moment of inertia of the centroidal x-axis taken for the rectangle, okay, and that is BD cube divided by 12, and the base of the rectangle is, see, 500 plus 1000 plus 500, that is 2000 into 1500 cube divided by 12, plus area of the rectangle was 3 into 10 raised to 6 into y square. What is this y? Y is the perpendicular distance between the considered axis and the centroidal x-axis of the figure. That means for the rectangle, the gx was passing through the middle of it, isn't it? This was the centroidal x-axis for the rectangle, and that lied on 750, and the axis under consideration, that is x-axis, is lying at 830. So what is the distance between them? 830 minus 750 is your y value, okay, 830 minus 750 the whole square. Here comes your Ixx1, and the value is 5.817 into 10 raised to 11 millimeter raised to 4. Unit is millimeter raised to 4. Next is to find the moment of inertia about x-axis axis for this right triangle 1. Okay, again the formula is Igx. Okay, let me write the subscript 1. Here it is Igx2 plus a2 y square. Igx2 means the moment of inertia of the shape about centroidal x-axis, which means bh cube by 36. That is the original moment of inertia about its centroidal axis. Okay, bh cube divided by 36, and b value is the dimension parallel to the taken axis. So here it is 500. So bh cube 500 into h is the height, isn't it? So 1500 whole cube divided by 36, plus area of the triangle was about 375,000 into y. Again, y is the perpendicular distance between the centroidal x-axis. Here it is drawn, this yellow axis and the red axis. Red axis is the main axis by which we rotate the blue color body, isn't it? So the distance here it is 1000 minus 830. 1000 minus 830 the whole square, and the value is about 5.77 into 10 raised to 10. Okay, and next for the right triangle number 2, here also it is igx3 plus a3 y square. igx3 value is the same because base and height remains the same for this triangle 2. So it is the same, that is 500 into 1500 cube divided by 36, plus area is also the same, 375,000, and again the distance of separation between this yellow axis and red axis. Yellow axis is the original centroidal axis for this right triangle alone, but x-axis, this red line indicates centroidal axis for the whole of this shape, isn't it? For the blue shape specifically. So this distance is again 1000 minus 830 whole square. Okay. Again you are going to get only 5.77 into 10 raised to 10 millimeter raised to 4. And finally it is a semicircle coming up. Here also it is igx4 plus a4y square, isn't it? And igx4 is, see, the semicircle which is rotating about the x-axis, isn't it? So the value is 0.11 r raised to 4. So 0.11 into r here is 650 raised to 4, okay, plus area of the semicircle which is pi r square divided by 2, that comes about 663325 into distance of separation y is, actually it is the distance between the red line and this yellow line belonging to the semicircle. And here it says 830 minus 276, got it? 830 minus 276 whole square. So value is about 2.2 into 10 raised to 11 millimeter raised to 4. Next, get every value substituted in this equation, that is 5.817 into 10 raised to 11 minus 5.77 into 10 raised to 10 minus same value minus 2.2 into 10 raised to 11 will give you the moment of inertia of the blue color shape or the concrete culvert about x-axis axis, and the value is about 2.463 into 10 raised to 11 millimeter raised to 4. Okay. So 70% of the question is over. Now it's again, it seems quite lengthy, but the steps are going to be the same only for the moment of inertia about y-y axis also. So now let's do it for y-y axis. So now on, let's concentrate on the y-y axis alone. So let's remove this centroidal x-axis and bring up centroidal y-y axis. Okay, and we know that this y-y axis is located at x equal to 1000. Okay, this is our x bar, remember. Now also here we have to consider or mainly focus on the vertical lines. Okay, this one and this one. Also for the rectangle it stays the same on x bar is equal to 1000 itself. Let's see. So these are the categories. Here again we make use of the parallel axis theorem, which is Iyy is equal to Igy plus a into x square. Okay, and now for rectangle Iyy1 is equal to Igy1 plus a1 x square. Again Igy1, that is moment of inertia for the rectangle which is rotated about y-axis or vertical axis, it is db cube divided by 12, and d is the line parallel to vertical axis. So for here in this rectangle the parallel the dimension parallel to y-axis is 1500, isn't it? So 1500 into 2000 whole cube divided by 12 plus area is 3 into 10 raised to 6 into what is x? Actually x is the distance of separation between the yellow line and red line, but you know yellow line for the rectangle is overlapped with this red line, so the distance is 0 simply, and our moment of inertia value is 10 raised to 12 millimeter raised to 4. Okay. Now for right triangle Iyy2 is equal to Igy2 plus a2 x square. Here again It is BH cube divided by 36. But see, we have to take B parallel to the axis under consideration. So here, for this right triangle, we are focusing on the vertical axis, isn't it? So the dimension parallel to this vertical axis is 1500. So B becomes 1500. So 1500 into 500 cube divided by 36 plus area is 375,000 into x is the separation of yellow line and red line. So here it is this much length. And what was the value for this coordinate? Y bar. Remember, y bar was, I'll show you. See, we have to find the coordinate over here, that is for shape 2, x2 bar. x2 bar here, that was 166.67. So let's copy it over there. So here it is 166.67. So x value is the difference between this yellow line and red line, isn't it? So 1000 minus 166.67. 1000 minus 166.67 the whole square, and the value is about 2.65 into 10 raised to 11 millimeter raised to 4. For the right triangle 2, again IYY3 is equal to IGY3 plus A3x square, isn't it? And IGY3 means the moment of inertia of the right triangle about the centroidal y-axis, which is again BH cube divided by 36, but here B is the dimension parallel to the taken axis. So in this case, the taken axis is this vertical one, and the dimension parallel to this vertical axis is 1500. So it is like 1500 into 500 cube divided by 36 plus area is just the same 375,000. And what about the x? X value is the distance of separation between this yellow line and red line, and here we know again it is 166.67, but it is taken from the right side. Okay, this value is 166.67. So what is the distance of separation between yellow and red line? See, we know that right half of the rectangle is 1000. So when we reduce 166.67 from that, we get 1000 minus 166.67. I think the equations are just the same, isn't it? So let us copy it down. 2.65 into 10 raised to 11 millimeter raised to 4 is your moment of inertia of the right triangle 2 about the centroidal axis YY. Okay. Lastly, we have semicircle IY4 is equal to IGY4 plus A4 x square. Here again, IGY4 is the moment of inertia of the semicircle about the vertical centroidal axis. That is, here it is written 0.39 r raised to 4. So 0.39 r is 650 radius raised to 4 plus area was 663325 into, here the x value is, I think we cannot see the vertical axis drawn for the semicircle, which means there is no distance of separation for the yellow vertical line and the red line. So the distance is just 0 whole square, and your value is about 7.01 into 10 raised to 10. Okay. Now let's put all these IYY value into the equation, and it is like IYY is equal to IYY1, that is moment of inertia of the rectangle, minus IYY2 minus IYY3 minus IYY4. Okay. Take all these value. I'll just show. Take all these value, this one, this one, this one, and your value is about 4.68 into 10 raised to 11 millimeter raised to 4. Okay. So this is how you get the moment of inertia values. Of course, it is quite lengthy and confusing too, but once you get thorough about the concept and the steps you have to work out, also with utmost concentration only you can attempt these kind of questions. So always try to attempt these questions at the beginning of the exam itself, so that with a fresh mind you can get through all these calculations. So that's all for today's video. I hope I could give you some idea about this topic. And if you got any doubts and suggestions, please post on the comment box below. So till we meet in the next class, this is Meenu signing off. Thank you and take care.